Hi guys, this is Sai Kumar Kurtivada. This is my new series on React routing and this is my introductory video for React routing. In this complete series, what we will be doing, all the concepts we'll be discussing now in this video as an introduction. So let me quickly jump into another slide. So here, let's learn about React routing. So in general, routing is something like whenever you want to move from one page to another page is called as routing. But in React, there is a specification called as single page applications. So whenever you want to move from one page to another page without refreshing your entire page, just by using the content management, we can do it. And that type of applications are called as single page applications. Now React prefers to use single page applications. That means your application will be loaded only once. Whenever you want to move from one page to another page, just the content will be managed by using React routing. And here, when we route from one page to another page, the content alone manages, as I mentioned. And to achieve this in React, we use an external library called as React Routers. So this is not an inbuilt feature of React. So we have to get it by using a external library called as React Router. To install this, we can use an npm command where we can use npm install React Router DOM. So this is having set of versions and they have some specific elements, specific data APIs for routing, all that we'll discuss in this whole series. So let me quickly jump into another slide. What we have to know before going into the React routing. So first thing is you need to know minimum basics of React and also HTML, CSS and JavaScript basics. And mainly here in this series, I'll try to explain you completely regarding the functional components. So better prepare with primarily on functional components where I have created a complete playlist regarding the React basics. I'll provide the link in the description. Please watch that entire series to get a better understanding on functional components. Now let me go into next slide. Here we have some set of routing mechanisms. So there are set of routers which we will be using for achieving this routing mechanism in React. There are two types of routers. Previously we have only element routers. Nowadays it has been upgraded with data APIs and that are called as data API routers. So you can handle some specific things on the data API routers and also by using element routers. So what are the different types of element routers? We have this many, five different types of routers. That is browser routers, hash routers, memory routers, native routers, and also static routers. We'll discuss all of this, but primarily we will focus on the browser routers as the initial stage. And later we'll learn all the different types of routers. So let me quickly jump into another slide. So here, these are the different data API routers and this data API routers helps us to achieve like loading indicators or error handling in one particular JSON itself. So there are some set of routers here also, something like create browser routers, create memory routers, hash routers, and static routers. So these are the inbuilt functions which are given by React routings. These will not act like an elements; they act like an functions. So that's how we can use data API routers. And this is available in 6.4 version of React Router DOM. So let me quickly jump into another slide. So now let me go into another slide. Here we talk about data routers and element routers. So data routers are mainly used for larger applications when you want to handle all the data fetching logic, loading logic, suspensing logic, all this if you want to handle in the router itself, then you can use data routers. Whereas element routers can be used for smaller applications where primarily when you want to focus on the routing and remaining logics are taken care by the components, then in that case you can use element routers. There are some built-in functions for actions and these are manually handled by the components. They have some properties which handles the loading part in the data routers, whereas in our element routers we have to handle every loading logic, suspensing logic, all this should be handled at the component level itself. And here they have integrated the whole routing mechanism with error boundaries. That means inside the routing itself you can handle the error handling as well, whereas element routers we have to use error handling manually. That means we have to create our own error handlings in element routers. So that is the difference between data routers versus element routers. So that is the difference between data routers versus element routers. Now let me go into one more slide. What we will be covering in this series. Primarily, we focus on browser routers to completely understand from scratch regarding routings before version 6.4. Before version 6.4, we don't have data API routers. So that's why we will focus on the browser routers first so that you can work on the legacy applications where they are using the browser routers. Later, we try to understand how this differs from other basic routers like hash, memory, static, and native routers. Lastly, we focus on the data API routers for understanding end-to-end how they work, and also we compare with all the remaining data API routers. So we will cover mostly all different types of routings in the series, but majorly focused on browser routers as a primary aspect. Later, we will see all the differences and how the data API works as well. So that's how we will cover in this series. Hope this will give you a better understanding of what we'll cover in this particular series, and also hope this will give you a complete understanding of React routers. I'll come up with another videos related to React routing, and in the next upcoming video we will set up and install our first basic routes by using browser routers. Hope you like my explanation. If you like my video, like, share, subscribe to my channel for more updates. Signing off. Thank you.